Where do we go from here? How do we start this one, Jamie?
Whew. Okay, I think. Are we live?
Yes.
All right. So this is the first week we've had in quite a bit of time where it's just the two of us.
I know.
And we can catch up on the conference, which feels like a literal lifetime ago.
I know.
At this point. I mean, we're halfway through summer, so what happened there?
Yeah.
And maybe talk a little bit about all the stuff in the media about the Olmstead decision and opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get after it.
I haven't been keeping up too much on that, so you're going to have to...
Well, if it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't know much. But the social media machine makes sure that I am very aware of what is going on, and it's a little bit scary.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading social media again yesterday, and on the vet side, currently a lot of cuts on that from veterans, disability and benefits and things like that. So I think Medicaid in general is...
There's a lot happening.
Unfortunately.
A lot. There is a great deal happening. It's, you know, I don't want to be like an alarmist, and I also don't want to get like so caught up in like all the negatives. Of course, that's what I'm being shown is the negative,
Right.
not the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just really, really, really want to believe that the people with the power are not going to let it get to the point that we're all afraid it's going to get.
I hope so.
And I just really am holding on to that. And I think that's probably a little bit of my naivety and my education or my lack of education
Mm-hmm.
in politics, because we just can't go that far backwards.
No.
Not that far backwards.
No. Where does that take us? Like
Oh my gosh.
if all of this would to go through of what they are asking for and what they want, where would that take us? Where do we go?
So, I mean, based on what I'm seeing, so the Olmstead decision or opinion, what that did was secure people with disabilities access to care in their homes in the community instead of institutions. The opinion that was just recently released basically stated it's not the government's responsibility to keep people safe and stable in their homes. That was, I mean, very condensing that down, which would return the attitude back to institutionalization.
Mm-hmm.
And that's horrifying just for so many reasons. But one of the biggest that I can think of as I'm like just watching people respond to this is, a good example is a video I saw. It's a woman who was capturing her I think brother with Down syndrome move through the community and just like getting little clips of him. And she said, I thought I was capturing him, but she was capturing the attitudes of the people around him, just ear to ear smiling at him, and because he's like wearing his little nephew or niece on his chest, and and like people are smiling and just like thoroughly enjoying the sight that they're seeing. And that is not an attitude that happened overnight.
No.
There was a not too long ago where people with autism, Down syndrome, any type of, especially a physical, disability, they didn't want to see them.
Right. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. And so it was very uncomfortable and distasteful to even keep them at home.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're in the community just living their very best lives, and people are enjoying it. And if we put them back in facilities, out of sight, out of mind, that is where we go. We go back to a day where our youth is not comfortable being in the presence of a wheelchair user or a walker user or someone who has speech differences because they weren't taught it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That would be devastating.
Absolutely
That would be devastating if we work so hard as a society to come back to that. And all that we can hope for is our advocates are loud. Like
very
shout,
loud.
shout loud, because you worked so hard to get to where we are today and to get the rights that they have today. They need to shout. They need to be as loud as possible.
Yeah.
Because
to make sure that we don't go back there. Because it really, like, I think we talked once that I think the last institute or large institute was closed, I think in the 80s. And my oldest son with a disability is 19. And when he was in his early education years, like elementary school, the bullying was still very profound in the schools. And I was so nervous for him to go to high school. But by high school, no one gave a crap.
Yeah.
Like they're in just that short amount of time, there had been so much exposure and teaching.
Yeah.
in acceptance and differences that he didn't have a problem through high school. And that's amazing. But if we don't nurture that attitude, we'll go right back to it.
Right. I mean, disability needs to, it shouldn't be looked at as a shame. Right? We need to be integrated into the community, just like in the schools. Like in the schools, when you had your special education classroom, taking them out of the classroom with everybody else, you're not integrating.
Yeah.
Right.
And no one learns then. And no one learns.
Yeah. So then you feel like, oh, you're different. I'm different than everybody else because I have to be in this classroom. I don't get to be over here. And like you mentioned, society has come a long ways to make inclusion for that.
And we're all better for it. So not just the people with disabilities or that are differently abled. We are better too. We are better people. We are a better society because we are inclusive. Because we can see the value in everybody. Yeah. We are better as a society the way we are. I mean, we have so far to go, but we are better today than we were before.
Yeah. So does this, like, am I understanding correctly? They really want to cut just the HCBS, like the community. Services. Wow.
Yep. That's the opinion. And then they're leaving it up to the states to decipher what they want to do.
Well, come on, Wisconsin.
You know, it's a little scary.
We need to rally here. And we need to, because that's the best thing that's ever happened in healthcare, ever.
Yep. I don't know why, like even from like a fiscal standpoint, I don't even understand how it could be better. Yeah. And as I'm like thinking this through, like from a management standpoint, I'm like, where are they going to find staff to staff institutes, large hospital level institutes? They're not. But then what scares me about that is that that's actually not the point. Institutes were being run to a ratio of like 1 to 100 people. Like the hepatitis was almost 100% because of lack of PPE and basic hygiene. So the way, if we go backwards, we're not staffing appropriately.
No.
We're not providing great level of care. We're talking probably a shower a month. You know, probably the cost of, I would assume their meals would probably be the cost of a school lunch. So what is it, like 96 cents per kid?
Okay. I have, like, the attitude has changed so much regarding institutions. I would be shocked. I would be absolutely shocked because we went from institutions to residential facilities and residential settings. And then we wanted least restrictive setting possible. So then we went back to in-home in the community, which has been the attitude for quite some time. Like, what, at least 20 years?
Yeah, give or take.
So to revert back that far,
it feels like a leap, not a jump, not a step.
That's a push.
Yeah, that's a get back. Even right now in the referrals that we are getting, I'm not seeing the attitude shift here.
No,
we are still very, very, very much so keeping people in home. Honestly, so far the pendulum is so far against what I'm seeing on social media in Wisconsin anyway, or in our little bubble here, that we have people that are more appropriately served inside of a facility or like a higher level of care than the community. So I feel like we're okay right now.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, unless we get that ginormous push of attitude, but that's how fast it happened with Iris.
Right. We didn't see that coming. We were kind of blindsided by that.
And actually what I saw something yesterday and it stopped me in my tracks. They were saying that with this opinion, they're not going to like corral everybody up, every disabled person, and then force them into facility. They're essentially going to take away services and make it so uncomfortable that they have no other choice. And I'm like, that feels awful familiar.
Did we just talk about that? Did we just go through that?
Yes. And I'm like, okay, all right. Is that the approach we're going to take? And that I could see happening because I am seeing the stripping of services a little bit. Like it used to be a lot easier to get certain things through the waiver than it is right now. And I'm like, maybe, yeah. So are we going to make it really freaking uncomfortable to get our DME, to get our medical supplies, to schedule appointments, to hire our caregivers, which we are seeing in the home-based setting? Is this that like we're going to make it really hard and uncomfortable?
Yeah, I would imagine. I have not seen or heard any type of attitude whatsoever. Our referrals come in strong each week. talking to case managers, there's no inkling whatsoever about this attitude.
Mm-mm.
In social media, I mean, media, I think,
is what
is
it is.
driven to be negative. It's
Yeah,
driven
and that's
to
what I'm
cause
seeing right now
drama.
because of like what I search for. So I'm very involved in like the social media disability
Mhm.
communities. And of course I'm seeing one side of it. I'm not
Yeah.
seeing all of it. And you're right. Like right now, I think Wisconsin's okay. At least our bubble on this side, Northeast, is definitely not feeling it.
I would hope so. I would hope Wisconsin sees the benefit. They're gonna cost more money if that's what they're coming down to. If that's what they're worried about is the dollars,
Mhm.
is the bottom dollar. That's going to cost them more money to have people in residential facilities than it is for somebody to be in the community and living their best life.
It's been
Don't
one
worry
of those
about me.
weeks.
Should have known better. About the third time, I'm over it.
Yeah. Dig into that spice.
So they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. It's only an hour. So yeah, if that's what we're worried about is the bottom dollar, then they're going to shoot themselves in the foot over that.
Yeah, 'cause
and you're going to, I mean, let's just face it, shame on you for forcing people out of their community.
Yep. So I'm watching it close because I'm very curious to see what trickles down state by state in local government, and see what happens.
Yeah.
But it is nerve-wracking just knowing, you know, like my son, without waivered programs, we do have commercial insurance. So he would still have access to like his DME.
Sure.
Things would be a little bit more pricey, but we would survive. But there's a lot of people like on our caseloads that we serve. They would never be able to afford their care out of pocket ever, you know, ever.
Yep. So where does that take us? That takes us to even more family caregivers, burnt out to the core.
People getting hurt because of it, because that is what happens.
And that's going to lead to financial struggle. Yep. That's going to lead, I mean, it's a ripple effect.
It really is. It's an economical effect.
Yeah.
So it does not stimulate the economy to pull people out of work.
No.
To pay them nothing for an actual job that's a job. Even though they're your family. If you're not getting paid and you need a paycheck to support your current lifestyle, you need the job. Yeah. So, yeah, it doesn't. Then we'll talk about foreclosures and you know, selling houses and going to the rental market. It's literally, it's forceful. Yeah, it's making things uncomfortable. So,
I think our radar is up just naturally because of the changes with Iris. You know, we saw that come, and that has been altering for people within the program. And to some people, I feel like they think this is such a subtle change, and it's not.
It's large.
You're taking a large amount of support away from somebody, expecting somebody else to do it. Well, that somebody else says, I don't have time, right? And they were never involved in that process to begin with. If you're looking at somebody who really, they have the ability, they have the capability to self-direct, to manage their own workforce, to manage their own schedule. But in today's world, go find a caregiver or a nurse or anyone that it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. So it's not taking the service, it's taking the resource, kind of stripping that. Yep. And so I think we see this, and we're not seeing the attitude shift yet on the family care side, which
thank goodness.
I would hope that would never come for the sake of the members. But I think that's why our radar's up a little bit, because it did come in the quiet of the night.
Yep, it did.
And not allowing people to come forth that's being supported to say, wait a second, this is my right.
Yeah. And it's not going to work. You're setting me up for failure. So yeah, my radar's up. I'm definitely watching. I should probably like switch my algorithm a little bit so I can maybe get a little bit of both sides of it. Yeah. But I'm really not seeing or hearing much from the political parties about it. So maybe Wisconsin's like not a big deal because we're not doing anything with it. Yeah, maybe.
So where is this still part of the Big Beautiful Act?
That's what I'm understanding is that but it was an opinion written. So opinions are, I guess, just written, and then it is just that, and then the local governments can decide from that opinion written by a federal government. It's very
So
it's very bizarre to me.
Who, the governor, is that who?
I don't think so.
No?
I think it came higher than that. I'd have to see who actually wrote it.
Who makes the final decision in Wisconsin? Is it the
Oh,
governor?
yeah, I think it would be governor. Yeah.
This is sad. Who's our governor?
Evers.
Evers, that's
Yep.
right. I did know that. I did know that.
Yep.
It's been a day.
He's been decent, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's a Democrat, if I'm not mistaken.
So that's who they need to be talking to. That's the decision.
Well, we are lucky in Wisconsin. We have very, very great advocacy.
Yes.
We really do. We have a lot of grassroots. We have a lot of beautiful disabled people who are busy ringing the bell loudly.
Yep.
There's a lot of community involvement in Wisconsin. I didn't really realize that until we went to our last conference, and then I started digging in. We have a ton of people on the front lines, both able-bodied and disabled-bodied.
Yes.
They are on the front lines fighting.
Yes, and as they should be. That's it would be devastating if they went any other direction besides forward to help people live their best life.
Yeah, and like I said, as a society, we benefit. We benefit. We are all better people because we are able to have a much broader horizon on what ability looks like. And that is, I think we have some work to do there as far as like putting individuals who want to work into positions that work for them.
Yes.
Because they want to work. They want to be in the community some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
But then also that where I think we need the support is getting them there. We need better transportation. We do need to figure out the caregiving situation because many people need caregivers to get them up and ready for the morning to get into whatever transportation they take to get to work.
Yep.
And I have met so many people who have worked such fulfilling careers that are in power wheelchairs full time.
Yep.
Have degenerative conditions, people with intellectual disabilities, and they are just thriving.
Yes.
And they're doing actual work that, again, adds to the economy.
We treat people like people and not treat them like a disability.
Yep.
Shocker.
I know. Yeah, I've met some people who work at Goodwill just pulling hangers off racks, and they are just ear to ear, smiling. When I worked for Innovative, we had a woman that did piecework. Yep. And they would like sort bobby pins and stuff like that by color. And I would be suicidal.
Oh my God. Tedious.
But they loved it.
Yes.
And they did it until their fingers had no longer had the dexterity to do it because of their disability. And they loved it. And I think one of my women that I worked with, I think she worked there for like 23 years. She worked a full career while being in a power wheelchair full time.
Yeah.
And she was actually one of the ones that came from an institute. She was one of the last discharged.
I'd love to hear their stories.
I know.
I'd love to hear their stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we look at somebody not what we think they're capable of, allowing them to do what they want to do and letting them thrive at doing it.
Yep.
You have people, we'll look at Katie, going for her master's. For psychology and wanting to start that on her own. We have people like just allowing them the platform to do so. Allowing them to go. And like you said, our transportation needs to be...
Oh, it needs to be revamped.
What is our transportation in Wisconsin?
From my understanding, and like every MCO is a little different. And then the attitude of the caseworker is different on what they're willing to authorize. But what I'm seeing right now is that MTM is like the go-to. That must be the biggest contract in Wisconsin right now. But it used to be they could use like Carpool, Valley Transit rides, Transit rides. They couldn't. I don't think they financially could continue on at the capacity that they were being used. It was a $5 ticket curb to curb. It was amazing. We got so many people where they needed to get.
That's amazing. Yeah,
but they weren't able to keep up, and I understand why. $5 curb to curb. I mean, geez, inflation.
Right.
Didn't meet them there. And then some case managers, even still right now, are authorizing Uber.
Okay.
How they do it, I'm not sure. But
I really want to dig into that. I want to know, how is that funded? How is it working? How is it going? Because so Iris, I know for a fact, has to use MTM
because
if
they're
that's
billing
what they
Medicaid,
are now.
Right?
Yes. So that under Iris, they don't cover funding. They don't cover transportation. It goes through the Forward Health Card. We've gone rounds and rounds with MTM. and sorry to name drop, but we
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
But
it's literally the only one that I know for sure they're contracted with across the board.
so from my understanding, they're contracted with all these different transportation, but the MTM is the hub. So it's not, we can't even blame
that's
MTM.
right. So that is just the hub. That is just like the umbrella.
Their connection.
And then they bid on the rides from there.
Yep.
So they're really just the company that is running the database essentially. Yep. It's right. Then they bid because then you're going to get different people that are picking up.
So remember the time that they were supposed to go pick up Cookie?
Mm-hmm.
And it was raining. And they did not want to be accommodating and get her to, was it on the way home or the way
there? Poor Cook has had it. She's just, I went rounds with him on appeal.
Yeah.
But the issue that you're talking about, she just needed to be able to grab his elbow to be led to the car.
Yep.
It's the only assistance that she needed as a blind person. And he said they couldn't be hands-on, and he got in the car and left.
And left her
in the middle of the parking lot.
Rain.
Yep. And then she fell.
A blind person to find your way back to your apartment.
Mm-hmm. And then she fell.
Oh, we were pretty irate on that one.
That was
when
bad.
we heard that one. So it's not MTM. So I'm sorry, MTM. I didn't name drop you.
No, that's just the umbrella. So it's whomever picked up. But
yes,
as a mother and guardian, not as a Community Horizons employee, I state this: my only option for my son right now is that, and he wasn't able to take a job because it was far enough away that like I couldn't drop everything or know that I could be available to pick him up in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so he wasn't able to take a job because we could not reliably get him there. And he is not someone that can currently drive due to his disability. And that makes me so sad because we couldn't risk it.
You're taking that away from him as well.
Yeah, we just couldn't risk it.
That socialization, the ability to go out and work and make money and be independent.
Yep. When he did, he's trying to build his life. He's a young guy. And I felt like we hemmed and hawed, we waited out. I didn't want him to get a poor work history because he would have eventually been fired. I mean, that's the way a lot of our members go, is that, they end up in situations where they're not showing up to work on time or medical appointments on time. Mm-hmm. And this job in particular, it's rural. And because of his history, I can say with certainty that if his ride did not come pick him up and he wasn't picked up, but I couldn't get there fast enough, he would start walking. And where this place is situated is so dangerous. And also it's literally 23 miles from our house. So he's not walking to my house. He's not physically able to either. So that was kind of a blow, and we weren't given any other options right now. I think that we could still have another conversation, but it's not something I've had time to battle. But that's as a guardian, as a mom, we went rounds, and he really wanted the job, and it just wasn't safe. So I just said, and it sucks because not everyone in my situation has the information that I have. Mm-hmm. Anyone in my situation that didn't work in the industry honestly probably would have been yeah, that sounds like a great idea, thanks for picking him up, not knowing that historically probably not going to happen. Not with any certain reliability, No,
that's what we have found. Just and know any company, because we don't know who the company they're, you don't know until the night before. We've ran into, they don't show up. They drop you off. They don't pick you back up. Yep. There's a lot of phone calls that I have received of so-and-so is sitting here waiting for her ride. I'm like, all right. Yep. Did we call the transportation company? They were, even though it was set up as a round trip and pick up at this time and take home at this time. But not only that, but reasonable accommodations. What is that reasonable accommodation? If you're going to be a transportation company for somebody in a wheelchair, you have to be able to help them there. Right? You can't just say, I'm just a driver to get there and get you back. Who's helping them from point A to point B to get to the wheelchair van or to get into the van? And
I really think that it's a lot. I mean, they probably have their own internal policies, but I think it's up to the person driving, to make the call, which it shouldn't be because it's a disability-related service.
Right.
So everyone that they're picking up has something happening that prevents them from driving themselves to the doctor's office. I don't know if you remember now, but as you were saying that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that driver that came in with our member and then Hoyer lifted them into bed and dropped her.
I do not remember this story.
That would have been 2 summers ago. Yeah.
Talk about going above and beyond.
And
to
then
put
she
her
had to
into
go back to
bed.
the hospital. And I think he picked her up and brought her back home.
So we're at one extreme of
To the
not,
other.
don't even touch me, or
Yeah.
the other extreme of let me help you into bed here.
Yep.
Good for
Yep.
you. Good for you for
Yep.
the effort. But
Yep.
I'm sure their policy has changed
Oh,
after
goodness
that.
gracious. Yes. I remember that you're saying like, oh gosh. That's why I'm like, it's probably like very much so like whether or not they're supposed to or not,
Yeah.
door to door.
Yeah.
Some are and some aren't.
At the conference, I was part of this breakout and somebody was talking about self-driving Ubers.
Oh, I've seen those in the bigger cities.
Yes. In the bigger cities, it might work. This particular individual, he says, I don't know if you ever have been to Pennsylvania, but it's in the middle of nowhere. And if you have a car that pulls up to somebody's rural house, they are not getting in it.
No, especially without a driver.
Right. Like, wait a second, hold up. I mean, I don't know that I would get in a car without a driver.
No, I've seen too many things on the interwebs. I'm like, of them getting like stuck in loops or they can't navigate around like a barricade.
Oh, I would be so mad.
And
I
you
would be
can't get
so
out, I
mad.
guess. Like, and also that would actually scare me the worst is once you're in, you're kind of stuck into the car lets
No.
you out.
No.
Oh,
Nope.
Lord. Mm-mm.
No, I prefer to drive just so I have control, and that's just my control freak
Yep.
coming out. But no,
Mm-mm.
no, thank you. I am very curious about Uber, though.
Yep.
I am very curious to see how they have that structured, and good for them for opening it up to the to our community. But I'm curious just how that works and how's
Yeah.
it going. Like, are they allowed to help somebody in and out of the car? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with people like my kiddo, he would be served very well by something like that because the technology allows you to see the car and the
Mhm.
driver's license or the plate, I mean.
Okay.
So he'd be able to confirm plate and car
Yep.
before getting in.
Yep.
To know that he's going I think they have to be local. So I don't think you can be like an out-of-state driver, within Wisconsin, like picking people up. So I feel like and they're selecting the ride.
Okay.
So like you have a bigger pool of people that can come pick you up. You can pick, which driver, what kind of car you
Mhm.
want, and they'll come grab you. I don't know. I feel like it would be really good if it was working, and
Yeah.
if we can figure out a way to make it work good.
Yeah. I just hope it's not for that selective that has no mobility barriers that,
And that is what I'm thinking. I don't know that any of those vehicles would be set up for wheelchairs
okay.
unless they personally, because it's a personally owned vehicle for
Mhm.
Uber. So unless they have a personal vehicle
Yeah.
that is already equipped.
And also, because a lot of the transportation is set up for medical appointments.
Yes.
We need more transportation that is set up for going back and forth to work, going to the grocery store.
Well, and that's what I'm confused by. And I'm confused on a personal level because I'm experiencing it with my son.
Mhm.
But then also on like the flip side with professional, there's not a bunch of leniency on recreation and stuff like that. So like there's not a bunch of authorized hours committed to recreation and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't really get that either.
No, and
because that's your social life.
right, and it's also your mental health, and it's
Yes.
also your ability to give back to the community. But yeah, I've seen that. I've had some caseworkers say that they can't fund recreation, and then I have had other ones that are definitely funding recreation. And that was actually one of my biggest fights when my son got onto the waiver. Was I'm like, why am I fighting with you guys about getting him out of the house
Right.
to be a part of it? Why are we talking about this? Like, I'm
Mhm.
very confused by this conversation because it was not something that was they were not willing to fund it. And we weren't going to abuse it or asking for 50 hours a week in recreational activities. I was asking for his caregiver at the time to be able to take him into the community. And I was very confused why that was a battle. So, and that's kind of where this like opinion also kind of sparked my interest too, because they aren't that could change the drive to get these individuals into the community,
Mhm.
or are we just going to let them bed rot?
Well, and it goes with Ethel
Mhm.
last week.
Yep.
I just want to go to church.
Yes. I thought of that. That's why my blood pressure started to get a little high because like my son wanted to go to Goodwill yesterday with one of his friends, and I had to figure it. Well, he did. He actually called all of his sisters he wanted to go to Goodwill with his buddy. Like, and it's so
As he
simple, but
should.
for a person like him, it actually is a really big deal. He struggles really hard with a lot of things, and that's a big deal.
Yeah.
For him to like want to do that,
Yeah.
and it was hard. It was not made easy.
Probably something that needs to evolve into this world is socialization.
Yeah, and like in the things that is a cultural consideration. I think of like a lot of our tribal members too. Like, are they responsible? Is there a responsibility to make sure they can get to powwows or, back onto tribal land to go be in community with their individuals? Like, is there any? 'Cause that's really, really important.
I feel like it's expected of your worker. That's part of your workers' hours.
If we can get them,
right?
And
Right. If you can get them, because you have to have somebody there to help you get ready in the morning if you need that assistance, and then get you there. So transportation for non-medical appointments is definitely needed. Definitely needed. I looked into I wanted to start a transportation company.
Yeah, you said it was expensive. The insurance.
It was before Community Horizons. It was one of my top ideas and everyone's like, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. And then I got to the insurance part. I'm like, nope, it's not even affordable.
Is it so unaffordable that it makes sense? Like the rates that they're charging? Like I think of like when Xavier was getting transported for school, I think it was like over $100 a trip. Like I don't know exactly what the dollar amount was, but it was expensive.
I talked to one insurance agent, so don't quote me on this, but I thought it was like $5,000 a driver. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And so then that would make sense what they're charging then.
This was 10 years ago, probably. Like it was out because then the insurance company had to have very strict rules about your drivers and their driving history and background checks and things like that. Like you wanted good, reliable drivers, which absolutely, right? But after I started that, I'm like, all right, next idea.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I mean, it is pricey.
Yeah. And I can imagine the liability aspect. I mean, coming from an insurance agent, I can definitely see they're like, this is such a liability.
Yeah.
But it's so needed because outside and it was non-medical. I didn't want to do medical appointments. There's enough for medical. It was non-medical to go do your recreation activities.
Do your fun stuff.
And again, what if they had transportation to go to a grocery store, maybe they don't even need a caregiver. They only needed the caregiver to get them to the grocery store and get them back. So now you're increasing level of independence from there. But no, now you have to pay somebody instead of paying a transportation. So maybe they don't have the options for transportation, or maybe it's just expected for caregivers. I don't know. I'm not sure what.
Well, that's the other tricky part about it is that I would have to put a high percentage on the number of caregivers that are good quality caregivers that don't drive.
Yes. Yeah.
They do not drive. Driver's license are hard to come by. And if they have a driver's license, do they have a reliable vehicle? Do they have a wheelchair accessible vehicle? Yep. No, they don't.
And if you're expecting a caregiver or a support staff to drive to the grocery store and back, mileage needs to be included. Especially, I come from a rural area. Okay, so if you're not right in town of our little village and we have a grocery store, let's say you might have to drive 20, 30 minutes to a grocery store. So if you're expecting that travel back and forth with the prices of gas nowadays, you have to include mileage.
Yeah.
Your hourly rate's just not enough.
No.
And I don't understand why some get mileage and some
don't. I know. And that's like, there's just no continuity. Like, there's no consistency across the board. And because my brain is so black and white, I would love to see some like consistency across the board on that, because it would make things a little bit more predictable for the caregivers too. And it would be a much easier sell in self-direction. For these caregivers to be like, if I go to this place or this place, it's going to be the same, but they're getting two different hourly rates.
Yeah.
One pays mileage, one doesn't. One is not even authorized for miles. The other one might be. Like, it's just.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. Is it a budget thing? Is it? Yeah. I don't understand. There's still some
behind the scenes stuff in like the algorithm that I just still would love to learn and understand.
What I have realized this week is there's a lot of things that I'm curious about that really aren't any of my business.
No, I just need to know.
But I need to, I need to know. I'm like, please, I sent out an email and I'm like, man, this can be taken very badly, like wrong, like none of your business, stay out of it. But I'm like, you don't need to respond. You don't have to indulge me. I just need to know, like, what is your process so we can help understand and help the member understand. I didn't get a response, but
I'm not surprised.
yeah.
Yep. We are a third party within the ebb and flow of some very quick moving waters right now.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit uncomfortable.
I'm just a curious George.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
same.
Tell me if I'm out of line. It's okay. You won't hurt my feelings.
It depends on like who you can get on the other side too, like
Yeah.
how willing they are to chat. Because I've gotten a lot of information from people who we just enjoy talking, so they're willing to share.
Yeah,
and it's fun. It's fun to learn, and the insight really does help.
it does.
It does help.
Yeah.
And
we're not shaming anyone for you're doing your job. I get that 100%. Like you guys have your own system, you have your own structure. We have our own system and our own structure. But what an amazing world if we can work hand in hand. Because the only people that are going to benefit is our member is going to really benefit. We're going to benefit. You're going to benefit. Everyone
benefits.
Like I had a great call yesterday.
Yes.
I reached out to Christina at Pelco. They recently moved into Wisconsin for support broker. And I'm all about, you know me, I'm all about collaboration over competition.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To us, there are no competitors. Everybody's in this together.
Yeah, the need is too great. Let's do it together.
And it was so nice that she had the same perspective. She's like, yes. And we talked about doing, we're going to send out an invite to all of the agencies and all of the providers in the industry and be like, hey, anyone want to have a coffee social hour? Let's just talk. Let's just talk about what's going on in the world, what's working, what's not working. If you want to participate, please, absolutely, you're invited. If not, that's okay too, you know? But you look at how many people are in this industry, there's no competition. Come on. Mm-mm. We can work together on this.
Oh, for sure.
And for, again, everybody working together towards the same collective end goal, everyone benefits from that.
Yep. So where did they come from? What state?
Oh my goodness, I should have brought my notes. So she's overseeing, I think, 3 different states for support broker services.
Wow.
Yes. So they're in Wisconsin now and growing this state, but they also do fiscal in other states.
I was just going to say, are they a fiscal agent?
Yes. So, you know me, I'm like, how does it work? But I'm very excited that we get to continue that conversation and just, they're not new to Wisconsin, but welcoming them to support broker services.
What side of the state are they starting on?
I think they're statewide.
Oh,
she said they're statewide. Mm-hmm.
So do they operate similar to us where they grow the area in which the need is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Are they hands-on?
I'm not sure. They have one right now. So as the need grows, they'll continue to grow.
Very cool.
But I mean, we were there once too,
Mm-hmm.
and we get it. So it'll be nice because we don't cover all areas of the state either. So, if somebody reaches out and there's in an area that we don't cover, we can at least send them over to somebody who does cover that area. And
how many counties did you guys cover when it was just you and Joyce?
So when it was just me, I started with 5. I started Wapaka, Portage, Outagamie, Brown. I don't know whichever one.
Okay.
So it was Shawano. I was in Shawano. And then Joyce came on and, I guess way before that, Abby started. Our original Abby was in Outagamie, was in Appleton. And then Joyce, she took over Portage, and then we opened up Wood.
Okay.
And then we went, Marathon was organic. It was just a reach out saying, hey, are you guys willing to help in this area? And most of our growth was organic.
Yeah.
It was always them reaching out and be like, hey, I have somebody in this area, or not even reaching out, just sending us a referral for that area. And we're like, okay, guess we're going here. But yeah, and then now
38. I think it's more than that.
42. It might be 42.
42?
Yeah, I think because we were up to 47, and then we put the brakes on the Southwest It's a beautiful area. I'm more than happy to explore it again. We just have to have enough where we can have a local support broker
Right.
down there.
Yeah, you've come a long way. Whew.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So you just follow the leads.
Mm-hmm.
When that was the growth in Northeast, we never said no.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna go.
Yep. Well, on our team, everybody just
Rallied.
yes. You need help? Gotcha.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's how it is. That's how it should be.
We have everyone on our team willing to travel, and we have our own policies on travel, but like no one's been ever been like, oh, it's a little too far. No, let's go grow the area. Let's go help this person. Let's go figure it out.
I started getting to the point where I'm like, if I'm going to travel to these areas, I'm gonna enjoy these areas.
Mhm.
So I went to Grandad Bluff when I went to La Crosse.
Oh, fun.
Once I remember we went over there for a home visit and an interview, and I'm like, let's take a detour. Joyce is like, what? I said, yeah, we're going to take a detour. We're going to go on a field trip. And we went up to Grandad Bluff and we looked out, and it was fall time, and it was beautiful. And I'm like, it just hit me. I'm like, we're in these places. Why not enjoy it?
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes. It took 10 minutes out of our day to go do that. El Goma, you caught me walking on the beach. Yep. Like, I
busted.
had to. But I mean, again, if we're in the area, what is a 10-minute break to simply just stop and enjoy our surroundings?
I always try, if I have time, I always try to find a local coffee shop. Like not like a Starbucks, like not like I want to find the mom and pop ones.
Yes.
I want the one-offs that have a cute little concept.
Yep.
Beans and Books in Shawano is one of my favorites.
Yep.
That is such a cool concept, and they're so kind there. And they also have gluten-free cookies and muffins.
Yep.
So I always stop there. I always try to find something.
Yeah.
When I'm local.
I love little coffee shops for the fact that there's never two the same.
Mm-mm.
Like everybody has their own, like you said, concept, their own little design, their own little quirks. That's the best.
Yep. So I love going there. There's a place in Hortonville, and I'm forgetting the name. It was on Main Street. Something with cats, and they have a really cool like setup in there too.
Cats there?
No, there is one of those in Appleton.
Yeah, like a cat cafe.
Yeah, I've heard it's a little questionable. So the cats are like separate.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, how do you keep the cat hair out
of everything? I thought it was like, because in Madison, you can go into pretty much anywhere, and there's the cats just come in and go out. Like it's very Madison-esque, like it's just is. So I thought it was like that, whereas the cats just lived there. That was their place of being. But then I found out that it was a room. So you went into the cat room and handled the cats. I'm like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. That's a favorite of my kiddos.
Yeah, I guess you can, as long as there's, I just never understood, like, how do you keep, because cat hair, dog hair, any hair.
And like you can't keep cats off counters. Like,
right. And like how does that pass health inspection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very cool concept.
But good concept, yeah.
But I always try to stop and just see the local things if I have time. And we have a new housing counselor it's brand new to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And when we went to Kewanee, she's like, what is that? And I'm like, that is Lake Michigan.
Oh, because she came from Iowa.
Oh, Ohio.
Ohio.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they have lakes there, but they don't have
Got it.
Lake Michigan there.
Okay.
Yeah, she was like, wow. And where we were, we literally could stand it from where we were and see the waves roll in.
Yeah.
She was just like, she's like, I think me and my boyfriend are going to come in a couple of weeks from now. I'm like, you should go walk that beach. It's gorgeous. And then all the little places to stop down there is just very cool.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Where's your favorite place that this job has taken you?
I love Shawano.
Shawano, yeah.
I have fallen in love with Shawano. Like Shawano has stole my heart.
It's a neat little community.
It is. I don't know if I said it here or just said it to you, but like what I loved about it I had to stop there for a home visit, and when I first took it over as a support broker, and I had to stop at Walgreens and grab something. So I stopped in, and I just casually, how are you? Thank you kind of thing with the person checking me out. And she went into this elaborate spiel about living my best life, working behind the counter at Walgreens, went to college, have my master's degree. My parents are super proud. How are you? And I'm like, wow, I love this place. I have found my people.
That is amazing. Good energy.
Yep.
Good energy.
Oh, my word.
Even if I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but good energy.
I was like, wow, this is great. And then I spent some time, my husband's work has a plant there. And so we went to some event they put on downtown. The downtown life is just phenomenal. And I've gotten a couple of other opportunities to spend time doing festivals there, and their community is just cool.
Yeah.
And then don't even get me started on our members there.
Mm-hmm.
They are some of the coolest people.
Mm-hmm.
Very engaged in their local community. They get out
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
I love to talk shop with them and like what's going on in the community. And yeah, it's a very cool place.
Yeah.
How about you?
I love the Northwoods. So the Niagara Florence is one of my best, not only for recruiting, but it's beautiful. But I'd have to say driving west, like when I'm heading towards Minnesota, or over by Kayla, who's over in like the Hudson Somerset area, them bluffs over there are gorgeous. I love driving through there.
I won't lie to you. I pretty much despise going to Stevens Point. It's not being there. It's the most boring drive.
Yeah.
Ugh. Straight down 10 forever and ever.
Yes.
It's
10
like
is
so
boring. 10
Ugh.
is very boring.
It's just, there's nothing to see at all, nothing to do, nothing to think about. Gosh darn it. But once I'm there, I'm fine. But like, ugh, what a boring drive.
Yeah. I can see that. Appleton to Stevens Point is pretty boring.
Yep.
That's probably where I'd get most of my work done on the phone.
Yep. I met a gentleman out at Grace and Grits that was in Amherst. That was cool. Again, though, you get off the highway and you just like middle of nowhere in this cool little, again, visit there. That was a really, really nice place. Yeah. Very kind wait staff. We sat and drank a coffee and a water at one of their booths, and they never even looked at us dirty about it. Yeah. Filling out applications. That was a cool place.
So what small town is versus I got kicked out of Subway in Green Bay.
Shocker.
I didn't get kicked out. They told me to not do it again. So I met a housing member there. We sat down. We did some applications. We talked about, we were there for maybe 40 minutes. Maybe. Okay. And then afterwards, I was polite and I went up and I ordered a sub for lunch since I occupied their place. And they said, "Oh, who were you interviewing? Or what store were you interviewing?" And it caught me off guard. And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, you can't do that here." I said, and he made a comment about this is for customers. I said, "I'm standing in line. I am a paying customer. Yeah, don't bring her back here again." Oh. I was irate. He's lucky I didn't just walk out at that point and like, keep your sub. Like, that's not how you treat customers. So the difference between small town, like Grace and Amherst, is they care about their community. Yep. Instead of you should be nicer to people.
Yeah. I always pay the table tax. Like always.
I would never go to a place and not at least be a paying customer. Yep. But the attitude, and sometimes it's hard for me to bite my tongue, and I did that day. I was like, I'm a paying customer.
Off guard. I've actually met people at Subways before. I never had an issue. But I think it's all about, they're independently owned and operated, I think. So I don't think it
must be a Subway thing for me because I just had a bad experience at Subway the other day.
Was it in Green Bay?
No.
Green Bay can be a bit rough.
She was having a bad day. And I get it. Everybody has a bad day. But if you're going to be in customer service, you need to learn how to be in customer service. You need to learn how to bite your tongue. You need to learn how to smile, even if it's a fake smile. Yeah, she was just not nice. No.
I have a hard time with them.
I walked out and I told Aaliyah, I said, "You will never act like that. Don't you dare."
Unless it's on TikTok. That's hilarious.
Right. So I am trying. I still can't do, I still can't sit there and just scroll. But I can do maybe like 3 of them. And my algorithm must be, I am a big music person. My algorithm has caught on to that because it's always people singing. Oh. And I think it's because every once in a while I'll come across my niece and a lot of her TikToks are just her singing. So I will sit there and watch the whole thing. So my algorithm probably picked up on that. So now it's just people singing. Or like a husband and wife duo. And there's a video on one where what it must be like for my husband to work with me.
I've
Like,
seen
that's
those.
me.
Actually,
That's
I saw
me.
one. I'm like, I thought of you and your husband. I'm like,
Yep.
ooh, I wonder.
Yep. That's me.
Oh, my
So-
husband would absolutely murder me. Like, just murder me. Yeah, no, that would not go well. We work very differently.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a butterfly, and you can never find me. I can never find my things.
Yep.
I'm a doom pile maker. Like,
Nope.
he's task at hand,
Yep.
and I'm all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mine just doesn't have patience.
No,
No.
mine either.
He would fire me.
Oh yeah, I'd be fired if I worked for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'd fire him too, though.
Probably. Absolutely. Like, this ain't working.
No.
Sorry.
He's learned so much about like the compassionate fields.
Yeah.
And something he had not been much exposed to.
Yeah.
He's learned a great deal, and
Yeah.
he's eaten it up and done well.
I think a lot of couples struggle with that. If you, like, I was in healthcare, he's never been in healthcare. He's never been exposed to healthcare or anything like that. So when I first got in and I was working doubles back to back, or somebody would call in my first management role, I was working constantly. And he's like, enough is enough. Like, and you're like, no, like, I have to. This is my role. This is my job. But then not understanding what it's doing to home life as well, not having that balance. And for somebody who's not in healthcare and looking in, they identify it right away.
Yeah.
And so a lot of relationships do take strains on
big
that
time.
because
That
of
was
that.
a weird thing in the very beginning of our relationship, because I was managing in healthcare and he was the same job he's always had. And he would like take days off of work because he has PTO accrued. And I would look at him like, are you going to get fired? Like, are you going to get
You're
in
not
trouble?
allowed to do that.
Like, even now, 6 years in, I'll be like, just be careful. I don't want, like, don't take too many appointment days because like I don't want you to get fired. He's like, I've earned the time off. Like, they want me to use it.
This
They
is
keep giving it to
normal.
me. And I'm like, I've just never had jobs until this job where you could use your PTO. I've always had it.
Yeah.
You could never use
Yes.
it.
You were shamed.
You were shamed
at using
for using it. And you just
Like-
couldn't because you did put in for it, but then you ended up working 96 hours. So
Yep.
it didn't matter if you took that one day off because
Yep.
you made it up for it on your 52-hour shift you had.
Or you're a rock star.
Yep.
Good for you for working 100 hours this week
Mm-hmm.
because you're my go-to person.
You haven't slept in 36 hours. You're so strong.
Yes, good for
You
you.
are awesome.
You are the best. Oh, you have PTO? Absolutely. You want to use it? Oh, no.
I don't think it's going to work that day.
Yeah, we're short-staffed that day.
Yep.
Like,
You can take your PTO when we get agency out of our building.
yeah, the days of, or you finally get your day off, right? You're so tired you can't do anything. And then they call and be like, oh, so-and-so called in. Can you come in today? It's my day off. When I went through my CNA course, so I started at a nursing home and they're like, hey, you're going to want to be a CNA. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They put me through the class. They would call me at class to come in after class. And even the instructor's like,
Where do you work?
we're like, whoa, like this, because it didn't happen just once. It happened continuously. And you learned, you just shut your phone off. So I feel like throughout my career, I have taken these little tidbits and being like, I would never do that to somebody. I would never treat somebody this way. So for me, I didn't take the good. I kind of took the bad from each one and what not to do when it came to that. So that's
Well, it
why we
worked.
have a policy of use it or lose it. Like
Yep.
we encourage people, you have PTO, you need to use it.
Yep.
You need to take it. Because this is like, I've been out of the facility game for quite some time, but looking back, yeah, I was young, I was 18, I was ambitious, but that I was also taken advantage of.
Oh, so bad. And I see it all the time. I mean, I was too. I was young in the industry getting taken advantage of, but I had little kids
Yeah.
at the bulk of my career.
Yep.
And I just look back on my now adult children. I'm like, damn it, I miss so much.
Yes.
I miss so much. And I think I
Yep.
shared it here, and I know you know, but like my breaking point was my daughter pooping all over the floor, and I was
Mhm.
on a call trying to fill a shift, and like what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I
Yep.
doing? Why am I on the phone at home not getting paid for it?
Yep.
Like, I'm just done. Like I'm not doing it with it. I got a second batch of kiddos, and I'm not doing it again.
Nope. Well, and how much we miss. So my breaking point, I missed my daughter's third
Yeah,
birthday
you said
party
that.
because somebody called in and nobody was willing to even stay for an extra hour. So I'm like, I had this beautiful birthday party. I'm like, Mom, Thank you. And looking back, my mom and my sister probably helped raise her big time. They used to bring her to the facility when I was working 16-hour shifts just so I could see her.
Oh,
So, yeah, did I need it? Absolutely.
Yeah,
because
I did too.
I needed to pay my rent.
Right.
I needed to work.
It got us both here.
Yes, absolutely. And it really, I think, built our work ethic.
It did.
100%.
It did.
So I can't say I regret any of it because I really don't. I regret not having the time and missing out on certain things in kids' life.
I was a single parent. Like, so there was a lot of stuff in those early years. I didn't have a choice. Like, I needed the job.
Yep.
At that time, I was being paid very well. Nowadays, I'm like, I ran a whole building for $15 an hour. Yeah. Shoot. But yeah.
$8 an hour starting as a CNA.
That's wild.
I was like, looking back, I'm like, did everyone make $8 an hour? That's kind of crazy. But you did what you had to do. Like, you had no option. And I loved the job. I fell in love with it the first day.
Oh, I love my people. Same as I love my people now. Like I did. I fell in love with the community or the people that we serve. Like I really, sunk my teeth into like their journey and their story and then decided I was going to fight for it.
Yep. The resident that got me, she was 103. And she would tell me she went through the horse and buggy days. She went to the first car, the first TV. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine 18, 19, whatever I was, and listening to a story like that? She just pulled me right in. I'm like, all right, I'm here.
All your things, all of your things.
And that was my favorite about everything that I did was the stories. And it still is today. Just tell me your stories. Mm-hmm. Tell me your backstory. Good, bad, ugly, don't care. Tell me, because that's how we learn.
Nicely. I love getting to know people, and everyone got to where they are because they came from somewhere. Mm-hmm. The gentleman that was hook, line, and sinker for me was when I was doing home health care, and he had cerebral palsy, and he lived independently and always did. He had been married, he had been divorced, he had lived in different cities. He was actually the prototype for a lot of equipment now used with CP.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So like he was part of that. He was educated. He was fiercely independent. Part of my tasks were filling his, he had the coffee machines at like the old time places where you pull the tab, like at the Quick Trips and stuff, you pull the tab. Yeah. He had those. So he had one for his coffee because he had a pretty significant coffee habit like me. So he had one that was always full of coffee. And then he had one in his refrigerator that was always filled with Pepsi and liquor.
That's amazing.
Yes. And I'm like, and then so because of the way that his body worked with his cerebral palsy, his refrigerator door was set up so he would back himself in and he could fling the door open. So he would sit, and actually that's where he ate his meals, was out of the refrigerator. Okay. That was how it worked for him when he was independent. Sure. And so we would always buy him cubed cheese because he could safely eat cubed cheese because of his cerebral palsy. Yep. And that he was just like one of the most incredible people. He managed his own like money. He managed his own affairs. He was just, and he had, his vocal cords were badly damaged by his cerebral palsy over the years. And he was hard to understand, but he used a speech board. Oh, he was so cool. Yeah. He was one of the coolest people.
And to find these resources. So that worked for him. Mm-hmm. Somebody might look at it and be like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. But no, learn from him.
When like most people, even now working with our caregivers that we are talking to, would argue mixing alcohol for him. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Like somehow he's not worthy of making a choice to or to not consume an alcoholic beverage.
Yep. That's one of my pet peeves. When I did compliance for multiple CBRFs, and one pet peeve was bedtime and what time they had to get up. We're adults. We don't have bedtimes unless they want their own bedtime. Second one was happy hour. Why can't they have alcohol?
Right. With meds or without.
That is their right.
It is.
To have alcohol. So if they want to sit down and have a beer for happy hour, they're adults. They're allowed to do that.
Likewise, I don't advocate for smoking. But whatever, like
give them a safe place to go do it, not across the road.
Or in their wheelchair where they're self-propelling across traffic.
Because it's a non-smoking
building. Yeah. So again, I don't advocate for it, but there's enough people that smoke, and it is what it is. And
Yeah. What I love about the home-based services is it allows them to live the life that they are choosing
Mhm.
in the aspect they have choices. I feel like, and not to rip on any type of facility, but I've been to enough of them where you walk in and it's like, where are the resident rights here? Why? It's give them, it is still, they have choices.
Yep.
Whether you like them or not. Self-direction is the same. They have choices.
Whether we like it or not.
Whether we like
Yep.
it or not. I heard one of the best, and I don't know if I told you about this or brought it up on a previous podcast, but I was on a webinar and an individual, he was saying that we need to get out of institutional language. I did not
Yes.
refuse a shower. I chose not to take a shower that morning.
Yes. Oh, good God. I never even thought of it like that.
Yeah. Or how many times do people chart? They refused.
meds.
They refused this.
Yeah.
No, they chose.
Yeah. They made a choice.
Because that's their choice to make. And we have to get out of our own language and terminology and system to be like, all right, absolutely. You don't want to take a shower this morning? No
Cool.
problem. Let me know when you're ready.
Yep. Educated the member on what happens when you don't shower for
Yes.
2 months.
Yes.
Walked away.
Yes. Because if you were in a facility, they would have called APS on you by now.
Mm-hmm. Or your guardian or your doctor. I worked in mental health for a long time. And then they involved the psychiatrist. And the next thing you know, your meds are up. So you're just a little bit more snowed.
Yeah.
A little bit more compliant to get in the shower or do all the things that they don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I made a joke when I was with my family this past weekend, and it wasn't a joke, it's reality. I said, I don't ever live in a nursing home or a facility. I would much rather just live out my days as independent as I can at home.
Yep.
And I said, because I'll be damned if anyone's going to wake me up at 4 a.m. for a shower and shove me into a pair of jeans. And they all laughed, and they're like, why jeans? I'm like, because that's what they're doing to people.
That's what they do. Yeah,
They're
you got to get dressed for the day.
Yeah, they're shoving them into jeans. And I'm like, and don't you shove jeans on my butt. I want comfy pants.
Yes.
Only comfy pants. If it doesn't have stretch, I don't want it in my closet.
At that point, you have earned that.
Yes.
You have earned that right.
I can't even remember, like, back in my facility days, like, oh, yeah, you had to have at least 3 or 4 people up on night shift.
Yep.
Do not wake me up at 4 a.m. and shove me in a cold shower.
Mm-hmm. I was young enough where I did it because I was told that was my job, but I was young enough or even aware enough to ask, do they want to get up? Like, I would be swinging.
Oh, I'd be swinging.
I would be swinging
Swinging
if you woke
and
me
spitting.
up. Like, you don't wake me up. I will wake up when I'm ready to get up.
Yep.
But I think that experience has also taught me, 1, we can do better.
Mm-hmm.
2, I would never put a family member because, I've seen too much.
Well, that comment is kind of where I'm at with, like, my whole journey with my son. I've seen too much.
Yeah.
I've just seen too much. I've seen too much. And it's so hard for me to trust any systems at play right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've just seen too much. The transportation, all of it. I've just seen too many things go wrong. Having non-family caregivers in my home, we're at a place where we need it. And I've just seen too much. I just know too much. It's like working at McDonald's and then eating their food. It's just hard.
I give you credit. That would be hard for me. My home is my safe place.
Mm-hmm.
And people coming into my home is hard for me. So,
into my bubble, yeah, it's very much my safe place, and it's my bubble. And I've had non family in and out. It was actually someone that I loved this caregiver. I worked for me at one of my facilities, loved them. But it still is having a visitor in your home.
Mm-hmm.
It is still awkward because there is somebody observing your, basically, like, it's at my house especially, it's like somebody walking into a zoo and just, like, observing, because it's like we've got chaos just 100% of the time.
You know what I love about this journey, this podcast journey, is I will listen to them before they go live, and I truly reflect on what we do and how we approach services, because then it makes me think, like, are we approaching it the best way that we can? And hearing your story and hearing Emily's story and just hearing, like, it can be evasive, right? You have people coming and going out of your house all the time. I don't know that feeling. So then are we approaching it the best that we can, but still giving them the services that they need?
Yeah, still having boundaries with like a requirement of services, but
Yeah.
like there's that but I understand. I think when I realized how like invasive it could be was when my girls got on to their waivers, and part of the enrollment process to like get signed on with services, you sign a release from day one with Child Protective Services.
Oh,
Yep, from day one, so that when they have to call on you and make a report, they already have a release.
oh, yeah.
And that's how
uncomfortable.
And that is when I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the cost of doing business, the cost of services, which we need,
Yeah.
is that they have access to my life. And I just signed a release proving that even as Child Protective Services now has access to my life like that because there's a release already signed. So, and it's not a cut at like the agencies. It is what it is. Like these things
part of their policy.
are in place for reasons that probably make a heck of a lot of sense outside of my house.
Yeah.
But it was still just a reminder to me of how invasive getting help is.
Yeah. And so I listened to the episode that's going to air today with Heidi.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just reflecting on everything in that conversation of I loved when she said, when you meet one person with autism, you met one person.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of the disability, that's how it should be. Because everybody, nothing should be standard really across the board. Everything should be what works for you. How are we going to do this? But we still have to meet requirements A, B, and C.
Yep.
But how can we best serve you with meeting these requirements? And I think we've started down that journey and making it very individualized versus, nope, you need to have contact every single week. You need to do this and work like robots.
Yep.
But
I think one thing that was not fully anticipated, even for me as a parent going through it, I did not realize how hard it was going to be to get in front of our kiddos' parents.
Yes.
Because they're working full-time jobs. Duh.
Who knew?
Like, I know. And they're raising special needs kids, most of the time more than one.
Mm-hmm.
And they're working full-time jobs. And we're one more person that needs access to their house, into their lives, in their time.
Yep.
And that was, learning how to navigate that and check our boxes, but also make sure that we're being respectful on the back end. And like, how can we work together that you're comfortable, we're comfortable, we're moving the dial towards your goal.
Yeah.